What's up? How often do we practice mindfulness? It ties into mindset all the way through, but like practicing mindfulness is kind of like practicing self-awareness, but in live action. How can we develop skills that help us more or less go through life, go through certain conversations, stressful moments, and just do it really well? If you're anything like me, you judge yourself on a very high level. You want the best there is. That can be classified as a perfectionist, right? With this said, I think we all want to present ourselves the best way we can. We want to talk the best. We want to just be our best. But we know it's not possible all the time. We know sometimes we will completely screw up. We know there's times where we're in over our heads. We're just struggling to get by. We're filled with anxiety, fear, sometimes regret, sometimes all of these emotions all at once, and we just want to run. We want to just get out of here. Our our flight to fight mindset is really just engage. Your rationalized logic is just not there, if I can speak today. And if you practice mindfulness, this is helping to take all of these emotions, all of these feelings, ideals, and bring a reality perspective to it, bringing clarity and just more or less a good compass to kind of help you guide yourself through these moments. Anyone who faces anxiety, I have this tip for you, among other ones. Don't allow yourself to think into the anxiety moment too much. Now, what I mean by that is don't allow fear to just be all you focus on. I've been doing a lot of research lately, and the thing I've ran across is, there's so much complexity within human emotion to just human interaction, etc. A lot of us, we're told, face your fears, think positively, and you'll be alright. This is all true, but you also have to have this within that mixture. Accept whatever happens. Accept your current emotion. Face it. Don't run from it. A lot of us, we have the mindset of just kind of like dodging. We have the avoidance behavior of, oh, I don't want to talk to that person. I'm just not going to see them. I'm not going to do anything associated with them. And hopefully as time goes on, it's going to just die. And, both of us are going to realize, well, it never was there to begin with, and we're almost kind of hoping on a magic reality that's just not there, because the likelihood, if you're dealing with two people, someone's going to remember, someone's going to have bad feelings, there's going to be some tension still. Until it's addressed, there's no way around it. So summarizing this little section, if you practice the mindfulness to think positive, to face your fears, but also to accept them as you're facing them, it's going to give you a higher power. It's going to give you a power of realizing, well, I'm doing the best I can. I'm freaking out a little, but I'm going to think positive about this and just try all I can. After the situation's over, I'm going to reflect on it a little. I'm going to see what I did bad, what I did good. I'm going to just be very honest with myself, but I'm going to feed and lean on the positivity all I can. But I'm not going to be naive with myself. I'm going to still address what wasn't perfect. But again, I'm going to balance it so then once all is said and done, I have a healthy sandwich of a reality that I can swallow. Because if we lean too much to the negative or too much to the positive, you're going to be missing a good area of growth that is pretty vital. Practicing mindfulness is setting up understanding to your own behavior. So the best technique is really to kind of dive into your past for a second and just ask yourself, how did I behave in this situation? How did I behave in this? And the goal of the matter is to find areas that you didn't do that well at. Areas that you can find growth. Because for anyone to grow, you have to first be aware of the area of, well, I need to grow in this. I need to become better. And you have to have that mindset of the positive mixed with, that true honesty of, well, I didn't do so well, but the positive thing is I did this well. Now let me focus on what I didn't do so well and grow at it. Let me practice a little harder. Mindfulness is a very tricky, very complex sandwich of reality or mindset to develop because it just doesn't happen overnight. I can promise you this. Mindfulness, in one way of looking at mindfulness, is focusing on one thing at a time. Sometimes, your mind's racing in 10 to 15 directions and you're like, and anxiety happens to the point you can have anxiety attack. You're losing sense of reality because you're so focused on your fears, on your insecurities, that you can't make any sense of things. Your fight to flight mindset is engaged. So mindfulness is learning how to take all of this crazy, I guess, all of this chaotic emotions, balance the emotion to the logic, and come to a clear understanding of your next move. And with this, like I'm saying, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of self-awareness and a lot of clear understanding of reality. Example, I used to walk into a social setting and I would have the anxiety of, oh, people are thinking about me. People are looking at me. People are talking about me. And that was me so focused on myself that I lost sense of reality. My reality was what I was thinking. It became true. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I was a fool for too long until I heard someone basically suggest and say, well, no, that's not the case. Most people are thinking just the way you are. Most people are so self-focused on themselves that they get anxiety. The second you start focusing on areas that are in your control, you lose the sense of anxiety. I'll give you an example. If you go to a grocery store, the things that you can control are the items you do on your checklist or whatever's in your mind of buying. That is in your control. Your control is to be able to smile to strangers, to say hello if you want. But for you to be able to say, I can control and read someone else's mind, you're just crazy. It's just not possible. It's simply just not possible. It's not realistic. You have to be able to detect that reality to a false reality. And a lot of anxiety is based off fear, based off insecurities, and based off basically not having confidence in your own abilities, in what you can do. And a lot of times, some anxiety, which is a lot of anxiety, take like sport anxiety or performance anxiety, that is you basically having skill, but you're so focused on the fear factors that you'll kind of throw your skill out the window because you're so focused on the wrong thing. But if you can address, well, hey, I'm kind of freaking out right now. This is understood. I'm aware of it. Now, what can I do about it? This is taking a proactive approach. The proactive approach is already addressing, well, okay, I'm freaking out here. Let's calm down. Let's focus on what matters. This is where mindfulness comes in again, Breathe deeply and just focus on what is at hand, what you really can control. If you're performing in front of 10,000 people, by all means, don't focus on 10,000 people. That's going to just freak you out even more. Focus on what is in your control, and then slowly push through it. Your first or second performance, you still might have these freaking out moments. But if you learn to slowly focus on what matters and what is in your control, have the positive mindset as you're doing this, but also having the self-awareness and realization of your failures, usually hopefully after you do the performance or even doing it, you'll be all right. Accepting your reality, accepting who you are, what is the situation, is the power. It's the first step to take the proactive approach. Too many of us, we are dodging reality. We're dodging our own issues. We're dodging, and we're never addressing. The second we can start realizing our power, our potential, and believing in ourselves and realizing things take time with practice, we have a lot of power at hand. Hopefully I can conclude with this, and hopefully this isn't too confusing. I know I've thrown a lot of things at you. Practice mindfulness by, like I was saying in the beginning, reflecting back on moments you didn't do so well. Ask yourself, what went so wrong? Was I having insecurity issues? Was I just focusing on the wrong thing? Was I just completely freaking out and I was just in my flight to fight mindset? And maybe I should just stop there and address that if that was the case. What caused me to worry so much that allowed me to just freak out? How could I take my freak out moment and bring control back to that? You have to find the issue, and whatever that big issue is, focus on it, find professional advice, and just break it down, because everything that is complicated, everything that's overwhelming, if you slow the mind down, slow your perspective down, you're going to have a lot of power. And another thing within mindfulness is very crucial, and I'm glad I caught myself, is being able to take yourself from the moment and take yourself out of it. taking like a zoomify glass and coming way back out to see it. Because every moment we're so focused in, and if you really care about something, you're going to be even more focused. You're going to be even more paranoid about, did I do well? Was that good? Anything you care about is going to have a lot of emotion behind it. And our emotions can be our biggest downfall if we're leaning too emotional and not balancing it out with a logical, viewpoint of things. So sometimes you might have to take those 5-10 minute breathers, a day or two breathers, to get that focal point again. But the key element of what I'm trying to get at is mindfulness is a practice that you got to do often, 24 hours, not necessarily 24 hours, but every single day of your life. If you practice a mindfulness mindset, you're going to learn and grow and then improve. The key ingredient is finding awareness in your problem, in what you're not doing right, what you are doing right, giving credit to where you are doing right by a positive gesture, and giving constructive criticism to the areas you're not, so you can grow and learn your lessons and move forward. But too many of us, we either think too positive or too negative, and we're not balancing the both out. For myself, personally, I do this a lot. I have this vision of I'm just so focused on this that I forget to go, oh, well, look, maybe I should be like this and like that. Anyways, the point is, I get so focused on one thing that I forget to look bigger picture. I forget to take everything into account. And I have made a lot of foolish mistakes because of that, as I think we all have. And mindfulness will help you slowly work your kinks out. And again, it's a very, very long process that you cannot expect to happen in a week, 2 weeks, to a month even. I mean, you can have really crazy improvements on small areas, but you're going to realize how imperfect you are. And you're going to start realizing, wow, I got a lot to work on, man. And I hope this video has brought some more awareness to what mindfulness is. And I hope you realize self-awareness is crucially amazing, but being crucially honest with yourself is really important. Dream for the skies by all means, but be realistic to where you are so that you can find the pathway to get you to your dreams. Because if you're throwing yourself in your dreams already, you're living in a false reality. Face reality. Create a pathway to your dreams, to your goals, to the ways you want to improve. And slowly, think positively towards that. But also, again, accept your reality of what is at hand. And, I can't tell you all the answers. You have to do a lot of self-reflecting on your own life to find those areas of improvement. Hey, thank you.